What's up, guys? How's it going? It's a wonderful Sunday, and I'm your host, Manny Fraser, and it's the Rise and Thrive podcast. Today, I just want to get on quickly to talk about something that I know that a lot of new trainers struggle with and deal with, which is just that dealing with imposter syndrome. It happens in all walks of life. Even when you've been doing this for a long time, you sometimes question, am I doing the right thing? And my thing is this, you are. Now, the reason why is that you have to understand it in phases. When you first get started in the training business, you got in because you're passionate. You are getting results. You like what you're doing. And you want to make a career out of it. Okay, that's a really good reason to get started. Now, once you become a professional, in terms of the becoming of a professional trainer, because you never get to a point, like no one starts as a professional, like you become a professional trainer. So in that journey of becoming a professional trainer, you get to learn, like, what does that mean, right? Like, your main job is to know more than the person that you're sitting in front of. And a lot of times, like, we overthink it because we're thinking about every single person in the gym, and there's people that might know more than us, and all this other stuff kicks in, and it's just like, cut the noise. Like, the best thing you can do is just cut the noise out. Remove that from your mind, remove that from your life, remove that from everything that's happening, and just focus on the main thing. And the main thing is the person sitting in front of you at that very moment. Okay. Now, if you feel that you are not adequate in terms of knowledge, that's doable to learn. Like, you can learn it. It's not something that's like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck. You can learn. You got to go on that adventure of learning. And a lot of times as a new trainer, it's like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do this? And there's so many questions, and you have to be okay with not having all the answers to the questions at first. Because a lot of the questions that you have are going to be experiences that you're going to face. And as you go through the experiences, that's how you're going to get to learn the answers to those questions. So, like, the imposter syndrome, all that really is it's you overthinking. It's you overthinking this is the right thing for you to do. And if you're in personal training and you're brand new, is it the right thing for you to do? I can't answer that question for you. You have to answer for yourself. But what I can answer for you is this. Whether it's right or it's wrong, you're right. If you're passionate about personal training, you're passionate about fitness and really excelling and helping people, then it's the right thing for you. Like, don't overthink it. This is the right thing for you. Now, if you're not passionate about helping people and you don't really care about people's results and you're not, like, passionate about fitness, maybe it's not the right thing for you. Like, maybe you like getting your own results, and maybe other people have said, oh, you should try being a personal trainer. Don't try being a personal trainer. Be a personal trainer. There's a difference. Yoda says, don't try, just do. Like, that's this. You can't try being a personal trainer, because when you try being a personal trainer, you've already failed. Because it's got to be a passion. The passion has to lead you. It can't be about money. It can't be about anything else but the passion of helping people, because that passion of helping people will be what leads you on a day-to-day basis. When things get tough, which they will, like, not even gonna lie, they're gonna get tough. It's gonna seem like everything is not going right. And it has to be that passion to want to help people. And so how do you balance that with also having to earn money? Because that's kind of the other gap for the newest personal trainer. Because you got the imposter syndrome, you don't feel adequate in the job or in the role, and now you got to earn some money. And my one advice to you is this: it's going to be about your passion. What that means is you have to be able to put everything else on pause for the moment while you're building your personal training business. Like, a lot of times I see too many trainers come in and they're adding personal training to the next thing that they're doing. And it's like, you have to burn the bridges. And it's easier said than done, but you got to do. You got to spend more time and it's weird to say this, you got to spend more time in the medium of what you're doing. So if you're doing online training, you're going to need to spend some more time online, posting videos, answering questions, and meeting people and talking to people, spending time on forums and doing all that stuff. If you're in a big box gym, you're going to need to spend more time in the big box gym talking to people and getting your name out there, because no one knows who you are right now. You are an unknown. And you might have known, your friend circle, depending on how kind they are, will be like, yeah, man, you should be a personal trainer. Now, how many times have I seen someone's friend circle actually show up and purchase personal training from them? Not a lot. And that's a big one, because everyone says you should do it, but then no one's in the market for it. So then what are they saying? If I needed a personal trainer, I would definitely get you. My question always is this: who needs a personal trainer? I'll let you think about that. Because when your friend says, if I needed a personal trainer, I'd definitely get you, the question you have to really think about for yourself is, who needs a personal trainer? Who do you think needs a personal trainer? Because if you think that your friend telling you if they needed a personal trainer to get you, and you think that's the right thing, it's definitely the wrong thing. Because everyone can use a personal trainer. Why would they get you? Like, what skill set did you bring, or what did you show them that makes them want to get you? Or are they being nice and kind, and they're being friends and cheering you on? And it's okay to be a friend and cheer your friends on. But like, in reality, it's like, if we're looking for a personal trainer, what's the quality that they're looking for in a personal trainer? Like, ask them that. So like, what makes you want to train with me? And if it's like your dedication to your own personal fitness and your knowledge base on training and whatnot, those are good. But what I would look at is like, are you passionate about figuring out everyone's problems? So like, you got the woman who's in menopause, you have the 22-year-old who just recently had a breakup, and then you have the elderly woman who is, just trying to survive, try to live, try to thrive. And then you have the mom who has a bunch of kids and trying to find time to work out. How are you going to train those are 4 different types of women. How are you training them? You have the man who's going through a midlife crisis. You have the young man who's getting ready for his hockey or baseball or basketball or sports season. You have the old man who doesn't want to get that knee replacement. And then you have the senior citizen, the elderly man, we'll say, who wants to just keep on living longer. Every single one of them, you're going to train differently and similarly. And you have to know the similarities, and you need to know the differences. Now, as a trainer, if you're brand new, you're not going to know the similarities and differences. That's where the nerding out phase comes in, where you have to be a complete nerd. So like, the imposter syndrome comes based off of those type of diagrams or those types of avatars I just gave you. The imposter syndrome comes because you might be a middle-aged man, middle-aged woman, young woman, young man, whatever, and you know how to train yourself and you know how to train others like yourself, but you don't know how to train someone that's outside your comfort zone. So that's when the imposter syndrome comes. Well, the only way you can defeat imposter syndrome is understand this. The only reason you're having imposter syndrome is because you don't know something yet. And now with your faced with a challenge, the question you're passionate about fitness needs to fuel you at this point to get the answer. So instead of going out and partying, you're going to need to sacrifice to learn, because you didn't go to university for this. And even if you did go to university for this, they didn't tell you any of these answers. What they gave you is theory. If you went to fitness and health promotion or college for this, they didn't give you answers to this either. So you still can't party because you're still in the first phases of your new career as a personal trainer. Heck, even if you've been in year 10 or year 20, you still can't party because every single individual client is like a patient, right? If you were a doctor and you had to perform a major surgery, you think you can go out partying? No, but a lot of times as trainers, what we do is we minimize what it is that we can do for people, and we wing it. And that's not fair to the people who are paying thousands of dollars towards us. And I'm not saying to not live a life, but the balance of this is you need to get everything together, organized, and on point, that when you deal with somebody, like, I got that done already. Like, I know trainers that will program every day for the client. There's periodization. Periodization is the long form of training where you can now, it's a systemization. It's a systemized approach towards training. The reason why it's important is because as a trainer, you're systemizing it. You're making sure people are getting results through a system, right? Whether you periodize or not, like, it's easier to do it in a commercial setting, or even like when you're dealing with a lot of clients, if you have them all in different systems, all in different aspects, periodizations. So that way you can now multitask. The worst thing a trainer can do is not periodize for the client and wing it, because they're just guessing the weights, just guessing everything. And then when their client's like, well, how much weight am I lifting? It's like, just see how it feels. Not everyone's been training with you for years. So in year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, it's very important that you write down what they're doing and write down the weights you're lifting, so you can properly adjust, and you can properly get great documentation to see how they're getting stronger. Anyways, the main way you're going to deal with imposter syndrome is by sitting down and studying your craft. Okay? You're going to need, this is going to be homework. You're going to need to get better at studying this craft that you are so passionate about, and realizing that the skill set that what you have right now isn't complete. What you have right now is a skill to be able to train yourself. Now you're going to need to learn the skill set of training others. And that's why you're in this field. And that's why you're going to crush it. Keep on rushing. Keep on learning. It's a never ending learning cycle. It doesn't stop. Put aside your other stuff for, let's say, if you were, like we talked about it from before, I did a pod where I talked about what I would do if I was to start again. And realistically, what I would do is I would just be on the floor all the time. I would put everything else on pause. Everything would be on pause until I get the business I want. Do you have that type of focus? Because you don't. I don't know another way. I'm sure that other people do, but I think that in business, I think you gotta put things aside in order to make your business thrive. And you don't do anything until your business starts thriving. And then from there, you can start multitasking or putting other stuff. But realistically, everything else should be on autopilot. Your business should be running, right? Especially a personal training business, because you're trying to build up clientele. And it's how fast you want to build up clientele. As fast as you want to pay your bills, right? I think that depends on you. I think the thing that stops people from building clientele or getting better, or being able to be a full-time trainer, let's say, is themselves. It's their own fears. It's their own procrastinations. It's them not talking to people on the floor. It's them not reaching out or doing cold calls or DMing people. These are all things and factors that will slow you down in terms of getting the business that you want. Asking for referrals from clients, sending emails out, sending cold emails. These are all things. Being at events, being at networking events, making sure you're shaking hands, make sure people know that you're out there and you're for business and you're for hire. Referrals are a great way, but referrals are one source. There's so many other different things you got to do. Anyways, guys, I wanted to get on here, just talk about what to do when you're dealing with imposter syndrome. I know it hits everybody at different times within personal training, but you can't let it stop you from succeeding. You're either going to make it, it's either going to be the reason you fail, or it's going to be something you overcome, but you get to choose. It's your choice. The choice is yours. It's no one else's. It's not your fitness manager's. It's not the owner of the gym. It's not anyone else. It's not your kids. It's not your spouse. It's your choice on whether or not that you succeed. And if you decide that you are going to succeed and you decide that you're going to do it, then you got to burn the bridges and you got to do it. Just put your head forward and do everything that you're supposed to do. I've laid out enough blueprints for you guys. You guys can go back and take a look at some other videos or other podcasts where I talked about what to do, but it's not rocket science. I think it's a very simple task. I think the biggest thing you got to focus on is the tasks at hand, which is the work, not so much the outcome. Detach yourself from the outcomes and start just focusing on the actions. The actions are what you have control over. You have control over every action that you do. So whether it's prospecting, DMing, sending cold emails, phone calls, whatever it is, you have that's the thing you have control over. You do not have control over the outcomes. I'll give you one example before I cut out. I got an email of a lead, and anytime I get an email of I look at leads as like you got 24 hours to get a hold of them, or else they become cold. And once they become cold, it's not that they're dead. It's just that it's like it's a hard battle. So anyways, I checked my phone and I looked and I saw it. It was at 2:48 and it was 3:00. So as soon as I saw it, I sent out a cold email, and then I sent out a text message, and then I was about to do a phone call and they already texted me back. And like, that's how simple it is, right? Like, as soon as you see that, like, do it. You see a lead, contact them. Like, you're in business for yourself. And sometimes it could be like, a lot of times I know people don't think like this because maybe you didn't go to business school, or you don't think like a business owner, but like, you have to think like a business owner and not like an employee. If someone shoots you a DM and says they want to look into something, right? Whether they shoot you a DM or you have a place where you get leads or whatever. As soon as you see those names, numbers, and funnel, as soon as that funnel goes through and someone clicks on it and you get that name, number, or email, you need to contact them as soon as possible, because it is the first 48. The emotion of where they're at that point is at the highest. So the longer that you take to contact them, the further away they're getting from the emotional response that they just had, which was, the emotional response was, I need to do something about whatever it is, whether it's increasing strength, change the way I look, whatever it is. And at that point, you have to contact them as soon as possible. Because if you don't contact them as soon as possible, they'll disappear. Anyways, that's it. Remember, you're not an imposter. You're new. And because you're new, it means that you can crush it. Your mind can take you wherever you want in this industry and in this business. I believe you. I got your back for life. Peace.